Okay, so let's talk about the country's issue with corruption and the object of these allegations, la policía. What's true, what's not true, what, perhaps most importantly, what do you do and what do you not do if you happen to be the subject of a stop and shakedown? And there's no other word for it, it is a shakedown. You know, truth be told, that safe, secure environment I always talk about on these videos that we have here in San Felipe, it's actually due mostly to the police down here. Both the local policia and the federales, or more accurately these days, since about 2019, I think it was, the Guardia Nacional, that patrol the streets and highways every day. And yes, I'm talking about those scary-looking guys riding around the back of the government pickup trucks, dressed in that tactical gear with those weapons, automatic weapons, slung across their chests. And yeah, they're loaded. Well, there's definitely a lot of keyboard warriors, as I call them, out there who will point to this show of force as somehow emblematic of the area's big crime rate. And again, let me remind you, that crime rate down here in San Felipe, 0.025, less than 1%. I got news for you. My wife, our friends, and neighbors, and most of the thousands of expats who live down here in Baja, either full or part-time, I got to tell you, we not only support these troops, we applaud the show of force. We love it. Because when President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, or AMLO as he's called, instituted his Servicio Ser Temido, or Be Seen, Be Feared campaign for his police, crime dropped immediately and precipitously. And whether it's in this little old town of San Felipe here, the capital of Mexico City, the protection, the results are seen everywhere, a drop in crime. And as I said in the last video, total murders in Mexico City in 2021, 1,597. This year, 1,006. And it's this way all over Mexico, except for Juarez and Sinaloa and cartel places where the bodies are still swinging from the power poles during the day. So don't go there. But generally speaking, crime is down more than 10% from 2021. And again, as AMLO is quick to say, much of it's due to the influx of gringos and other foreigners who are flocking to Mexico to work better and to live better. More than 10,000 Americans have taken up residence in Mexico so far this year in 2022, and that's 22% jump over last year. And they say that number is going to climb to over 18,000 by year's end. Because foreign investment, especially American investment, whether it's permanent or transient, you live here or you just visit, it's their lifeblood. And AMLO is doing everything he can to change the world's view of his country. And yes, I know, I got it. His tenure has not been exactly stellar when it comes to how he deals with the United States. But politics aside, his country, as he sees it, is doing better, and it is. So like everywhere, you're always going to run into the bad few apples, especially in the police force. So what do you do if, say, you're pulled over and find yourself the subject of a shakedown? Well, according to a captain friend of mine, a good friend for a lot of years, a guy I agreed to keep his anonymity for obvious reasons, and we'll just call him Bob. Bob says,
Primero, no me entiendes hablar a lo siento. No talk to my guys in Spanish. Español. Even if you think you are, what do you say, fluent, do not try. Simplemente, dígame, por favor, que recuerdes, I'm sorry, remember one thing. No more time the officials he spends trying to get you to give him your dinero, the less money he get for himself that day. If you talk about how you say frustration, let him get tired talking to you. Just play stupid. You don't understand. He leave. He go for easier animal.
And Bob says this tactic works 99 out of 100 times. And how does Bob know? Unless he's a dirty cop? Well, maybe it's his 30 years on the job with his most recent assignment, internal affairs. He's trying to clean it up.
So, algunas policías son most corrupt. Lo siento, como se dice, not many are corrupt. Some, yes. So, stroke their ego, as you say. Play nice. Play dumb, and how you say, humble yourself. Solamente por ejemplo, keep only two, maybe, for example, 300 pesos in your wallet. Show him your wallet. show it to him and say, how you say, this is all I have, y no más, no more. Sirve, solo que gente insist to go to the estación, what can be worked out. Again, this guy no want go with you, because if he goes to la estación, he no get money from you, and that is what this is all about, money in his pocket.
Again, as he says, the key here is to stay humble and play the dumb American. Remember, it's all about a poker game, and it's all about getting the officer to get tired of dealing with you. And if you do somehow end up at the station at the end of the day, the fine is probably going to be far less than the bribe the officer wanted in the first place, and you're probably not going to get there anyway. Now, perhaps more important to do is what not to do.
No be tough guy. No matter my guys are tougher, do not make them angry. Just play dumb. Sometimes that's good, but sometimes, let's just say that we are trying to clean things up here. It is slow, it is hard, but we will get it done. We love the Americans here.
What he's saying is that by humbling yourself in front of them, you stroke their egos. You're making them feel important, and that's what this thing is all about with these guys. It's all about power. I mean, what do they make? I think about 19,000 pesos a month, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not. It's like, it's less than $1,000 a month American. Hell, the Major General himself of the National Guard, Guardia Nacional, he only makes about 111,000 a month, and that's only about 67,000 bucks a year. By comparison, the average LA or U.S. police chief in our country, 190,000 bucks a year. So these guys are just looking to be revered and feared, and since they are, humility and stupidity are your best weapons. So like Bob says, you're tough, but you're no National Guard tough. And although the vast majority of them won't go beyond soliciting a bribe from you, they can and do a heck of a lot worse if they want to. Can they tow your car? No. Well, yeah, they can with reason. And they'll make one up if they have to. And they can put you in jail too. But here again, spending all that time doing all this and the paperwork and everything, it just doesn't put any cash in their pockets. So just play dumb and don't get them angry. And don't tell them you're in a hurry either, because they're just going to hear that you're much more important than they are and your time is more valuable. And because it puts you in a hostage situation. You see, while you're saying, oh, come on, officer, please, I'm in a hurry, my flight leaves in an hour. All that guy's hearing is, oh, you're in a hurry, huh? Well, guess what? The price just went up for you, pal. Like everything I've said so far in this video series, whether it's buying a home or dealing with the La Policía, it's all a big poker game. Not just here, but everywhere in the U.S. too. And you have to know how to play the game. In this instance, you're dealing with a physically superior, stronger, but emotionally weaker adversary. So don't play his game, play yours. The dumb gringo, the humble gringo, the weak and needy gringo, the exhausting gringo. The gringo he doesn't know how to deal with except to just realize that he's getting absolutely nowhere with you. So let's just kick this pendejo to the curb. Let's go find somebody that's easier. Okay, so now that we've gotten by all the ridiculous myths about Mexico that were keeping you away from this place and helped you deal with the occasional bad cop, let's get down to talking about just how we're going to get you down here so that you can enjoy the beauty of Mexico and you can own your chunk of beachfront paradise on a little piece of Mexico's 6,000 miles of pristine coastline.